Okay guys, we're back, and this time we are going to be tackling the second challenge, or the second quest of the Unity Challenge Club. So I have the quest page loaded right here. I already have the asset pack loaded into the scene. I'm assuming there should be, oh yep, main game. Assuming is where I need to go, and there we are. Okay, so the first challenge is to fix the camera, which is using a Cinemachine to by considering what you need to do with the Cinemachine package. Hint, we're using a framing transposer which follows the hero. I almost said healer. Okay, now I don't have that much experience with the Cinemachine camera. I do see that there's a script that's missing on the virtual camera and on the main camera, so that might be part of what the problem is. We've got the mover script, the exploder, the score, and the timer. Okay, so the mover script is there. Just trying to see. Has to have something to do with that because there's no script on the virtual camera. Let me just refer to, we're using a framing transposer which follows the healer. Okay, so let's open up Unity docs for the Cinemachine virtual camera. And there should be a script. It's a component that you add to an empty game object and it represents a virtual camera. Right, okay, so here's the virtual camera and it is missing a script. At any time, each virtual camera may be in one of these states: live, standby, etc. Okay, but we're missing the script, and I'm assuming that's what the problem is. Let's go into the README. I think this might just be boilerplate. Animations, materials, prefabs, anything in there? No. Scripts, okay, score, timer, got the mover. Let me check and see if, do I have to download something? Package manager, can't remember if this is a package or not. Here's Cinemachine. I mean, I may as well just install that. Okay, have Cinemachine installed. And oh, I'm seeing the Cinemachine brain popping up now on the main camera. And the virtual camera now looks different. Now, what are we said? Hint, we're using a framing transposer which follows the hero. So we've got the follow on the hero. Let's just take a look at this and see what happens now. Oh, and it does look like it's following the hero. So I believe the issue is that we did not have the Cinemachine package downloaded and installed. So that's great if that fixes that. Just out of curiosity, I'm wondering what happens if I uncheck the Cinemachine brain. Yes, okay. So it does not follow the player. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to consider that one solved. Okay, vanishing enemy. One of the enemies is disappearing without being captured. Figure out why and fix it so that this bug is not happening. So it's disappearing without being captured. So let's go and look at our enemies in here. Just gonna scroll through and see if they look vaguely the same on the inspector, which I think they do. They all seem to have the same script on them, which is the exploder script. I'm just gonna play. I can see their transform positions changing, which of course is not surprising. Woo, it's the celebration. I'm just gonna play it and just watch for an enemy to disappear. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that one was destroyed. Whoops. That one was destroyed. That one was destroyed. That one was destroyed. Okay, so what was the issue again? One of the enemies is disappearing without being captured. Find out why and fix so the bug is not happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I see. So when the game is not in play mode, there's actually 5 enemies. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So which is the one that's disappearing? I think it's 3. Yep, it's 3. Okay, now that is an interesting bug, isn't it? So, I've got the collider. Let's take a look at him. Wondering if there's something in one of the scripts that is causing the game object to be deactivated. So this is the collider for the exploder, which I believe is the enemy. So when the player collides with it, it's destroyed, and "Aw, you got me" is being printed to the console. I always love the dialogue. There's always very interesting dialogue that pops up. Okay, what other scripts do we have? We have the mover, which is not on any of them. This enemy 3 has the same script on. Okay, so it's not that. Let's see if they have the same tags. It looks like they all have the same tags. Mover script, nothing is serialized that would affect it. The score, no. And the timer, so that doesn't appear to be it. Just gonna watch again what happens here. So it's actually, it's almost like it's going in the wall, and then because it's being collided with, it is actually disappearing. So I think maybe if we just move it over a little bit, then that shouldn't happen. Let's just do this as a test. Could have also done a debug. It would have been interesting to see if it's yeah, so I guess they're just sliding back and forth. I didn't actually realize that's what was happening. So I think that takes care of it. It would have been interesting to do a log there to see if the collision is actually being triggered on that enemy new 3, which I think we've proven that it was, but just would have been interesting for debug purposes. Okay, so I think that one is done. Stop the party. The celebration particles should last for 1 second, then stop, but they keep looping. Use our bool variable to fix the celebration so that it doesn't keep playing. Okay, so we've got the celebration particles. Woo. I assume they're prefabs. But they are also in the scene. So let's work on in the scene. My first instinct is to go and see whether or not the loop has been checked on the particle system. if the transform the child count is 0. So I assume what that is referring to is if there are no more enemies on the screen, then play the celebration. So once the celebration has played, see that this works. I keep forgetting I'm actually going to have to play the game. Is there one more? 2 more. Okay, so I think what I've done here is I saw that this bool was built in. Now I can't even remember, but I don't think it was initialized, or maybe it was initialized at true. So I've added this false once the celebration particle system has been triggered, and now I'm just going to do a it's false, then stop it. We'll see if this works. Okay, so after playing around with the code, I eventually have this has children Boolean here, starts at true. On the update method, it's going to check to see whether or not there are any more children, and it's also going to check to see whether or not the has children Boolean is still set to true. If it is, it's going to play the celebration particle effect, and then it's going to switch the has children over to false. And I think this should work. So once again, I'm going to play the game. I'm going to be an expert at this by the time I'm finished. And I'd say that's about 1 second. So that looks good. That was more challenging than it first appeared.